Hello, I'm Nathan Judo. I'm here with Aston Villa reporter Mr. Maher. Matt, Wolves 1, Villa 1. What did you make of that? Was it a fair result, or do you think Aston Villa will be a little bit aggrieved with that in the end?
I think it's probably a fair result. I do think the larger frustration lies on Villa's side, having failed to take, their chances really at the death. But Wolves probably, were the better team in the second half, or certainly the more threatening team that had a lot of the ball without really doing much. I think there is obvious frustration when you have goalkeeper saves from Konza, saves from Konza, Zaniolo with a near miss, and then obviously Ollie Watkins hitting the post with the last action of the game.
And Douglas Luiz as well had a chance as well.
Douglas Luiz to have a shot blocked. I do think Villa will feel this is probably a game they should have won. So
saying that they've improved on the recent record.
No, and that's the point. That is the point. I think the bigger picture here is that this first real segment of the season where they're playing. They've got the European games, they have the Cup, Carabao Cup game, 7 matches in 22 days. I know Unai Emery's changed the team in midweek, but Thursday to Sunday football, their first real taste of it. To take 10 points out of a possible 12, I think is not bad going. 3 of the next 4 at home, where they just win. They've won every game since March. So I think as much as there will be frustration in the immediate aftermath, I don't think this is a bad point. And I do think it's a game. It's a game where both teams probably look at it and think, that's a good result for us in the context of the season. Wolves backing up the Man City result, which is never going to be easy today. You look at Villa's record. They've won 20 out of 32 games, or 20 out of 33 now. Under Unai Emery, they win quite often. So.
And look, Villa knew it was going to be loud today, but I thought they did in the crowd quite well in that first half. Well, off the back of Thursday,
they were much better than they have been in the last 2 seasons. They've conceded within the first 9 minutes here the last 2 seasons. Today, I thought they were much better. They were the better side for the first 15 minutes.
Cash could have gone 1-0.
They could have scored through Cash. Torres, had a good chance really. So it was a much better start. I thought McGinn kind of led the way, stayed probably just the right side of the line. Yeah. But you've got to do what you've got to do really within the rules. And I think he led the way really today. He'd said after Thursday night's game that Villa had to be at it from the first whistle, and I do feel he led by example really. Not that the South Bank appreciated much of what he was doing, but the 28 foul.
I think they begrudgingly appreciate it.
Yeah, but Wolves 19 fouls, Villa 9, 28 fouls in total, and yet it felt like more. Yeah. It felt like a very scrappy game. I don't think the referee helped.
No.
I thought he was. He was very quick on the whistle at times, and then other times went to whistle, didn't, and it was a bit of a hodgepodge of a game at times.
And then 12 minutes added on at the end, and ended up being 14 and a half, and I think there were a few issues on the touchline.
Well, there was a red card during stoppage time. I've no issue with that. You can question whether there should have been 12 minutes.
Yeah. I didn't think there was a long second half.
I don't think I don't get it, because the board that's shown is a minimum. Yeah. Everyone seems to ignore that. They just think, no, it's 12 minutes and then it'll stop. I thought he had another minute. When we'll watch maybe 90 seconds.
2 and a bit minutes, I think it was. It was 12, and I think it ended about 14, 20.
No, it was about 58, 40. I think, so he had 90-100 seconds with a red card in the middle of it.
Apparently a VAR check as well, apparently.
But apparently a VAR. Yeah, VAR check for the Watkins, but I thought that was about right. I actually thought, I'm not sure there was 12 minutes in the first place. Yeah. But once he's given the 12 minutes. Yeah. I didn't have an issue with adding the time on. I just think that's just the rules.
I think Unai Emery will be pleased, like I say, for the most of his players. I thought the only one, I guess, disappointing on the day for me was Diaby, who was obviously come back from an injury and didn't look particularly fit.
No, he didn't, and
the international break probably helped.
But I just think that Villa didn't really get him into. He never really got into a position, never really got into space where he could, trouble Wolves. I think Villa did a pretty good job for the most part on Neto. But it was no surprise that the 2 or 3 times he got away and got in spaces when Wolves caused problems.
Sure.
But otherwise, I thought Dina and McGinn did a pretty good job of of keeping him shackled. Apart, and then the goal would frustrate them because Douglas Luiz, who's been probably their player of the season so far, been one of the best midfielders in the Premier League. Suddenly gets a bit lazy on the ball. Hwang nips in, robs him, and then they're away.
Yeah.
So yeah.
We look at it, another international break, Matt, and pretty pleased with the way things are going at Villa, both in the Premier League and Europe.
They're really pleased. They're 16 points from the first 8 games.
Which is European form, of course.
It's their form. That's basically they're taking 30. They're now taking 65 points. Is it from 33? I mean, they're pretty much on course for a top 4 finish.
I was going to say, is that the finish? Is that what they need to be going for? Is Champions League the aim? Is it with this team and this squad, even though they're in the Conference League?
I think that is the aim.
Okay.
I've written about this. They keep saying the Premier League 100% is the priority.
Okay.
And I think with a Man United side who are pretty struggling at the minute. Chelsea don't look great shape, so I know they've picked up. And it's top 5. Don't forget this season. Most probably will be top 5. Top 5. I think Villa are going for it. And so far, you've got to say, they're definite contenders.
Yeah.
I mean, look, we've seen it's 11 months where they've been taking 2 points a game. Yeah. Pretty much. I mean, at some point you've got to stop saying, well, this is a prize. It's not just a good run of form. Yeah. They're just quite a good team. They've played like they are a top 6, 7 team.
Absolutely.
That's how they played for 11 months. They played like a top 4 team for 11 months, so it shouldn't be a surprise. And the fact is, when they come to get places like Wolves, who are obviously not aiming for the top 5 this season, they feel they should be winning these games. Against that is the fact it's a derby, and Wolves, were one of the only 2 teams who didn't finish in the top 5 last season to have beaten Villa in the Premier League since Emery took charge. Not a great record here, so I don't think it's a bad point. I think if you then go and beat West Ham in the next game, and then you've got Luton, suddenly
Forest to come.
Villa will look at the next month and think, if we can repeat this form, then they're going to be in the top 3 or 4. Yeah. I mean, this is where they are. So yeah. I mean, I think it's one of those that keeps the momentum. Played Thursday night, Sunday. They've taken 4 points from 2 games Thursday and Sunday now. So I think they'll be frustrated at not getting the win today because of the way the game finished. But in the bigger picture, it's pretty positive. You've got to be positive.
Wolves 1, Aston Villa 1. For all the post-match reaction, make sure you log on to expressandstar.com.